Let's start with our first news. Alex Pereira goes off on Melk Costa for his recent comments, and things got heated fast. As Pereira prepares for his upcoming UFC White House fight against Rogan, the Brazilian star found himself in the middle of unexpected online drama. What started as a simple opinion quickly turned into a personal back and forth that caught fans by surprise. So here's what happened. Melk Costa appeared on a Brazilian podcast called Connect, where he was asked a big hypothetical question. Who would win between Jon Jones and Alex Pereira? Now, many expected Costa to back his fellow Brazilian, but instead, he confidently picked Jon Jones. To be fair, there was nothing disrespectful about his take. He even explained himself clearly, calling it a matchup between two GOATs, the best striker versus the best grappler, and said he believes Jones would come out on top. That should have been the end of it, but it wasn't. Alex Pereira saw the clip, and that's when things escalated. Instead of just brushing it off, Pereira fired back with a strong response, bringing up a past interaction with Costa during their time around LFA. According to Pereira, Costa once approached him in a hotel and started recording him without permission while he was having coffee. Pereira said he had to call him out on the spot, making it clear that respect comes first. But it didn't stop there. Pereira also reminded Costa of a moment when they shared dinner in Mexico, claiming that Costa was emotional after a loss and that he supported him during that time. Then came the line that really hit hard. Pereira accused Costa of changing after just a couple of wins, acting like he's now the Almighty. That response instantly grabbed attention across the MMA community. Costa didn't stay silent for long. He responded calmly, insisting he never meant any disrespect. He explained that the podcast clip was taken out of context and encouraged people to watch the full interview. He also addressed the phone incident, admitting that he was just an excited fan at the time and learned from that moment. Costa later summed up his frustration, saying he received hate simply for sharing an opinion on a fight that may never even happen, while emphasizing that he never insulted Pereira in any way. Despite Costa's calm response, the situation clearly struck a nerve with Pereira, turning a simple prediction into a full-blown personal exchange that fans are still talking about. Move on to another news. Conor fought last night, but not inside the octagon, and the footage quickly started making waves online. A clip surfaced showing Conor stepping into the ring for a boxing match in his hometown of Dublin, Ireland. While fans continue waiting for his official UFC return, this unexpected appearance has added even more buzz around his comeback. According to reports, the exhibition took place at the Kremlin Boxing Club, a gym where Conor has trained since his early days. This wasn't some random setting. It was a place deeply connected to his roots, which made the moment feel even more personal. The opponent for the night was an amateur boxer named Barry Nolan, and from the moment the match began, it was clear who was in control. The fight itself consisted of three 3-minute rounds, and despite being labeled as an exhibition, Conor showed flashes of his signature sharpness. He wasn't going at full intensity, but even then, the gap in skill was obvious. The referee was forced to give Nolan standing 8 counts not once, but twice during the match. That alone tells the story of how dominant Conor was inside the ring. Even without going all out, Conor controlled the pace, landed the cleaner shots, and looked comfortable throughout. It wasn't about knocking his opponent out, it was about showing presence, timing, and reminding everyone that he still has that fighter instinct. For fans watching closely, this wasn't just an exhibition, it was a statement. Now, while this doesn't officially confirm a return to the UFC, it's another strong sign that Conor is taking things seriously. One of the biggest indicators remains his activity in the testing pool. Week after week, reports continue to show that he is among the most tested fighters in the promotion. Even recently, the latest results once again placed him right at the top of the list. That level of activity isn't random. Fighters don't stay that consistent in testing unless there's a real intention to compete. Combined with this boxing appearance, it paints a clear picture that Conor is staying active, staying ready, and slowly building momentum towards something bigger. All signs are pointing in one direction. Conor looks locked in, focused, and determined to make a return that captures attention in a big way. Move on to another news. Chael Sonnen is now weighing in on Arman's next move, and according to him, there's really only one fight that makes sense right now. As discussions continue behind the scenes with UFC officials, multiple options have reportedly been explored, but Chael believes the path forward is actually very clear. Recently, Arman confirmed that he's ready to step in as a backup for the June 14th fight between Ilya and Justin Gaethje if anything goes wrong. On top of that, he's been vocal about wanting a big opportunity this summer, even mentioning a potential title fight, with the BMF belt being one of the options on the table. In a recent breakdown, Chael explained why he would be shocked if Arman ends up fighting anyone other than the winner of Ilya versus Gaethje. From his perspective, the current roster simply doesn't offer a more logical matchup. He made it clear that when you look at the division as it stands today, it's hard to justify any other opponent for Arman at this stage. Chael doubled down on the idea, saying that unless something unexpected happens behind the scenes, or Arman somehow upsets Dana White, the most likely scenario is that his next opponent is already booked. That means all signs point directly to the winner of that massive fight. This situation becomes even more interesting when you consider the current state of the BMF title. After Charles Oliveira's win over Max Holloway, the reaction from fans was somewhat mixed. Some even went as far as saying the belt has lost its meaning and should be scrapped altogether. Despite that, the UFC could still use it as a way to position Arman in a high-profile matchup. Outside the octagon, Arman continues to build serious momentum. His presence on social media has been growing fast, with fans closely following his activity and personality beyond fighting. But it's not just highlights and training clips. He's also been making headlines with his comments. Recently, Arman took a direct shot at Colby Covington over the lawsuit involving Jorge Masvidal, stemming from their 2022 altercation. Reports indicate that Colby's legal team is now seeking over $100,000 in damages. Arman didn't hold back, posting a message that quickly grabbed attention, calling Masvidal the real king of Miami and making it clear that he's not the type to sue over a fight. That statement added even more edge to his growing persona, showing that he's willing to speak his mind while continuing his climb toward the top. Move on to another news. Jiri Prochazka is now responding to growing concerns ahead of his upcoming fight at UFC 327, and the situation surrounding him is anything but ordinary. As Fight Week approaches in Miami, Florida, Jiri is preparing not just for a massive bout, but also for a life-changing moment outside the octagon. Reports recently confirmed that Jiri's partner is expecting the birth of their daughter right around the same time he is scheduled to fight Carlos Ulberg on April 11th. That means Jiri could potentially be stepping into the cage while also becoming a father at nearly the exact same moment, a scenario that sounds straight out of a samurai story. Because of how far along the pregnancy is, it was revealed that his partner will not be traveling from the Czech Republic to attend the event. This immediately sparked speculation that Jiri might have to pull out of the fight in order to be present for the birth. Fans began questioning whether he would prioritize family or stay locked in on his fight. Jiri quickly addressed those concerns during a recent appearance, making his mindset very clear. According to him, both he and his partner fully understand their responsibilities and the missions they each have to complete. He showed no hesitation, explaining that right now, his entire focus is on the fight ahead. He confidently stated that there are no distractions, no second thoughts, and no shift in priorities. In his eyes, this fight represents a crucial step in his journey, and he trusts that everything on the family side will be handled. That level of clarity and focus reflects exactly who Jiri has always been. For longtime fans, this response comes as no surprise. Jiri has built his reputation on discipline, intensity, and a deep connection to the samurai mindset. He lives and breathes competition, constantly pushing himself toward improvement and success. Winning the light heavyweight title again is not just a goal, it's an obsession. At the same time, securing a victory would also provide stability and support for his growing family, adding even more importance to the moment. It's a rare situation where personal life and professional ambition collide in such a dramatic way. And in true Jiri fashion, he even embraced the symbolism of the moment, celebrating in a uniquely samurai style that perfectly matches his personality. Move on to another news. Several new UFC fights have just been announced, and there's a lot to break down across multiple divisions. Starting with the bantamweight division, Kai Asakura is officially moving up in weight to face Cameron Smotherman. This matchup is set to take place on May 30th in Macau, China, and it's a big moment for both fighters looking to bounce back. Asakura is searching for momentum after a rough start in the UFC, suffering back-to-back submission losses since joining the promotion. On the other side, Smotherman is also under pressure, coming into this fight on a 2-fight losing streak. However, before those setbacks, he had built a solid 4-fight win streak, showing he has the ability to turn things around. Now shifting over to the May 2nd card in Perth, Australia, multiple fights have been added. In the heavyweight division, Shamil Gaziev is set to face Brando Peric. Gaziev is coming off a tough knockout loss, marking his second defeat as a professional. So far, he holds a 3-2 record in the UFC and will be looking to rebound in a big way. Peric, meanwhile, is building some momentum. He recently secured a first-round finish and has looked impressive early in his UFC run. This matchup could be a turning point for both heavyweights trying to establish themselves. In the middleweight division, Wes Schultz will take on Ben Johnston. Schultz is still searching for his first UFC win after falling short in his debut earlier this year. Before that, he earned his contract through a strong performance on the Contender Series. Johnston, on the other hand, will be making his UFC debut, bringing in a solid 5-1 record and looking to make an immediate impact. At welterweight, Jonathan Math is set to face Themba Gorimbo. Math enters the fight with serious momentum, riding a 4-fight win streak, including a recent submission victory. Gorimbo, however, is in a must-win situation after dropping 2 consecutive fights. Before those losses, he had put together an impressive run, and now he'll be aiming to get back on track. Finally, in the bantamweight division, Cody Haddon is scheduled to face Vince Morales. Haddon is coming off a solid win and continues to build his name inside the octagon. Morales, however, is under serious pressure, having lost 3 fights in a row over the past couple of years. With his back against the wall, this fight could be crucial for his future in the UFC. Move on to another news. A fighter has missed weight ahead of tonight's event, and it's causing serious concern. Rafael Estam, who was scheduled to compete in a bantamweight matchup against Ethan Ewing, came in over the limit at 136.5 pounds. While that may not seem like a huge miss on paper, the consequences are still very real. Because of the miss, Estam will now forfeit 20% of his purse, which is a significant financial hit. And as many fighters have pointed out, that number doesn't tell the full story. Once you factor in management fees, coaching expenses, and taxes, the actual money lost becomes even more substantial. This situation quickly caught the attention of other fighters, including Lerone Murphy, who didn't hold back when reacting online. He highlighted how losing 20% of your purse over just half a pound can feel brutal, especially when you consider everything else that gets deducted. From a fighter's perspective, it raises questions about whether it's even worth competing under those conditions, particularly if things don't go your way in the fight. At first glance, some fans might think it's not a big deal. Fighters miss weight all the time, and half a pound doesn't sound drastic. But in Estam's case, the issue runs much deeper. Analysts have pointed out that this isn't a one-time mistake, it's part of a pattern. Reports reveal that Estam has now missed weight 3 times in his last 4 UFC appearances. That's a major red flag, especially at the highest level of the sport where discipline and professionalism are critical. In his previous fight, he came in significantly over the limit for a flyweight bout. And now, even after moving up a division, he still couldn't make weight. That raises serious concerns about his long-term future. Even if Estam goes out and delivers an impressive performance tonight, the repeated weight issues could leave him on very thin ice with the promotion. The UFC has shown time and time again that consistency matters, not just in winning fights, but in meeting obligations. What makes this situation even more frustrating is that Estam has been perfect inside the cage so far, holding an undefeated record in the UFC and maintaining a flawless overall record. The talent is clearly there, but the weight problems are starting to overshadow everything else. At this level, success isn't just about winning. It's about reliability, discipline, and staying professional every single time. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley's upcoming fight against Ayman Zahabi has just been given a massive upgrade, as it is now officially set for the Interim bantamweight title. The bout, which is scheduled to take place on the historic UFC White House card, now carries much higher stakes than originally expected. The news was first hinted at by Chael Sonnen, but many fans didn't take it seriously at the time. Chael is known for dropping so-called insider information that doesn't always come true. So naturally, there was some doubt surrounding the claim. However, Everything changed when Sean himself confirmed the update in a recent video, putting all speculation to rest. According to Sean, the situation unfolded due to an unfortunate injury to Pereira. The former champion is reportedly dealing with issues that will keep him sidelined for an extended period, forcing the UFC to make a big decision regarding the division. As a result, this fight between Sean and Zahabi has now been elevated to an interim title bout set for June 14th. This development has a major impact on the bantamweight landscape. One of the biggest consequences is that Merab will no longer be getting his anticipated title opportunity this summer. After an impressive run and consistent performances, many believed he was next in line. Now, he'll have to wait a bit longer before getting another shot at gold. For Sean, this is a huge opportunity. A victory over Zahabi wouldn't just be another win, it would make him the interim champion and immediately place him at the center of the division. It also sets him up for a potential unification bout once the undisputed champion returns. The stakes for this fight have now skyrocketed. What was already a high-profile matchup is now one of the most important fights on the entire card. With 5 rounds confirmed, both fighters will have the chance to prove themselves on one of the biggest stages the UFC has ever put together. Sean also shared additional details, mentioning that Pereira is expected to undergo back surgery, which will keep him out until early next year. That timeline made it nearly impossible for the UFC to wait, leading to the creation of this interim title fight. Everything is now set for a high-pressure showdown, with gold on the line and the future of the bantamweight division hanging in the balance.